The System Information menu contains the basic information that allows the VMAX IP Plus to operate properly. To access the System Information menu, make sure that you are logged in as the administrator. Once logged in, right-click with the mouse and select Menu. The Setup menu will display. Under System, select Information. This will prompt the System Information menu to display. Most of the information will have been completed through the Setup wizard, but it is from this menu that users may adjust the system time, language, and update the system firmware. To change the system time, click in the Date and Time box. The Date and Time window will display. To manually set the date and time setting, click on Date and Time. Select the correct date from the calendar, then select the correct time for the system. Click the OK button to confirm and close the calendar window. To set the time zone, click in the Time Zone box. Select the correct time zone for the system, then click OK. If you would like the system to use Daylight Savings Time, check the Use DST box. To have the VMAX IP Plus automatically correct its time setting, click in the Time Sync Mode Cycle box. You may choose to set the NVR as a server client or as a time server for other units. However, for self-correction, select NTP Server. Leave the NTP Server setting at its default. Next, select how frequently you want the system to check its time setting against the NTP server. When you are ready, click the Sync Now button to sync the system time with the NTP server. Once completed, click the OK button and save the changes. If needed, you may also adjust the system language from the System Information menu. To do so, click in the Language box and select your preferred language. One of the most important features of the System Information menu is the ability to upgrade the system firmware. Click the Upgrade button to prompt the upgrade window. To upgrade the system firmware, click in the Method box. Stick the USB HDD stick in you are upgrading firmware from. Select USB HHD stick if you are upgrading firmware from an inserted FAT32 USB stick. If the NVR has internet access, you may select FTP as the method to transfer the firmware update files from the FTP server directly to the VMAX IP Plus. To do so, make sure that the host address is set to ftp.dwcc.tv. The user and password boxes should also have the NVR model entered by default. If so, click the Check button. The system will check with the FTP server and will inform you if your firmware is up to date or if there is an upgrade available. If an update is available, click the Start button to begin the upgrade process. Once the NVR has successfully upgraded and installed the firmware, it will reboot the system and begin to use the new firmware version. The last selection of the System Information menu is for system monitoring. By clicking the System Status button, you can check the data flow from your cameras to the VMAX IP Plus. From the System Status window, you can see the connections of the cameras that are connected to the integrated PoE switch of the VMAX IP Plus, as well as the cameras that are connected through the network. Click the Close button to close this window. By selecting Performance Monitor, you can inspect the current status of the NVR CPU, memory, and disk writing activity. This can be helpful for tracking system performance if you suspect that there is an issue with the unit. The last setting in the System Information menu is for Keyboard Beep. Uncheck the box for Keyboard Beep to disable the chirping noise that the NVR makes whenever you click the mouse. Remember to click the Save button to apply your changes.